Love to see that for the U.S. team. They're really setting the tone, getting that first win of the series. The two teams will play again on Saturday in Los Angeles, followed by 5 more games either in the United States or in Canada. One player is expected to make a big impact in this series for the U.S. in many ways. Sophomore forward at the University of Wisconsin, Laila Edwards.
Trey Matthews joins us to share his experience with the groundbreaking athlete.
Trey, how did it feel to sit down with someone breaking barriers in the sport of hockey?
Well, it's definitely something I don't take for granted because history will be made within the next few days as Laila Edwards is projected to make her season debut on Saturday in Los Angeles. She'll become the first African-American to skate for the U.S. senior women's national team, and I had the chance to talk to her on her journey in hockey and how she hopes to grow the game. Growing up in Cleveland Heights, Ohio, where did hockey begin for you?
Hockey began for me at the local recreational center that my dad grew up skating at, and then he got me and my siblings into it and kind of just grew from there. I always played hockey for fun growing up with the boys, but I think I realized that I wanted to take this thing far when I was about 10 or 11, and I started to travel more for hockey. I was like, okay, this can take me far.
You are going to become the first African-American to skate for Team USA women's national team. What does it mean to break the glass ceiling and be the first to do something?
Yeah, it's an honor. I'm super excited and I'm very proud, but it would have been nice for this to happen a little sooner, but right now it is what it is. So I'm great that I can hopefully be that role model for the next one right after me and then after her. And I just hope that this barrier break allows an overflow kind of thing.
Obviously, every athlete has to overcome some sort of obstacles. Being one of a few African Americans in a predominantly white sport, what were some of the obstacles and challenges you had to overcome?
I would say just going to rinks and not really seeing anyone that looks like you and no one in the locker room that looks like you, which was, I'd probably say it's a little bit uncomfortable and, people whispering and kind of looking at you weird. Or sometimes, I'd walk into a rink, I'd ask what the locker room was, and the people working there would say, oh, the basketball, court's over that way. And I'm like, no, I'm here for hockey. So I think those little microaggressions and things that were a bit of an obstacle growing up, but I've become more comfortable with it and myself. My older sister, who I play with in college at the University of Wisconsin, Shayla, she's always been in my corner. She's taught me lessons, especially like you said, and you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt too often. Just in growing up and learning from her, and she's been very supportive in helping me learn that and realize that.
I always say that role models are essential. So my personal role model is Everett Fitzhugh, who is the play-by-play announcer for Seattle Kraken. He became the first African-American NHL announcer, and it's always important to have representation. So how are you going to use your platform to try to get more African Americans involved in the sport of hockey, or just people of color in general, so that way we see more diversity in this sport?
I would say I understand it can be a little discouraging, not to see many people look like you, but I'm hoping that I inspire the next young woman of color that she's there, so it is reachable and it is possible. So kind of just motivate them and inspire them to work as hard as they can to get to that level.